Hi, my name is Elizabeth Losky, and I will be the founder of Producers Veterinary Solutions located in Bartlett, Nebraska. The vision statement for my company is to be Central Nebraska's premier veterinary practice for producers raising an efficient protein supply. That's just one of my biggest passions, and as a veterinarian, my goal is to be a food safety veterinarian and to be part of the process that provides quality meat for people around the world. A little history about myself. I am a lifetime livestock producer. I'm actually the 6th generation on my family's farm and feedlot operation located in Columbus, Nebraska. I also have a unique perspective being the daughter of 2 veterinarians, and I have just really recognized the rural Nebraska veterinarian shortage, and while I would love to return home, I think that my passion lies more in the sandhills in the cow-calf country where there's even less people and even fewer veterinarians. My current status is I will not graduate veterinary school until 2021, but until then I will be continually building a reputation in Bartlett and within the veterinary community. So my products and services for my company are to provide pharmaceuticals for livestock producers, and one of the things that I'm going to do is utilize rebate programs so that I don't have to mark up the products at all, but the producers can actually just pay the regular price and I will get a rebate because I sell so much. So that's going to be my profit margin, will be those rebates that come back. Additionally, I will do feedlot and hog barn consulting. There's several feedlots in the area that I would like to maybe get into to be their consultant, and also there's some hog barns there too that I would enjoy consulting as well. Additionally, I will provide 24-hour emergency services. And for livestock producers, there won't be an emergency fee. I think that this is one of the ways that I will appeal to producers because cattle don't really care what office hours are, and quite frankly, either do their owners. And so I think that'll be one way that I can add value is by not marking up the prices for livestock producers. As horses are very important parts of the ranching industry, I will definitely provide equine services and pharmaceuticals for those important members of the ranch. Additionally, I will provide basic canine and feline surgeries and care. This will include neuters and spays, vaccinations, dewormers, things like that. Just ways that I can also add value to my customers or to my clients and build my client base to people who may not have livestock. I will also have diagnostic lab connections with the University of Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa State, places like that that have great diagnostic centers and can help my producers figure out what's wrong when they have a problem with any situation. So my team, I will be the primary veterinarian and the owner. I haven't completely decided yet if I want to go in initially with a partner or not, or add an associate later. That will be details that I'll have to work out as I spend time in the area and learning from the ranchers there and the veterinarians there. Additionally, I hope to have a technician / secretary. Hopefully this could be the same person. They will be able to help me on the calls where I need a technician, but then in the rest of their time they would be in charge of handling the rebate program, as that's a very time-consuming thing, but I think it's something that will add value to my clients, and taking time and money to spend on those things I think will be important for the success of their businesses and mine. I think this person will work about 20 to 30 hours per week, more during the busy seasons, less during the less busy seasons, but that'll just give them some flexibility. Also, I hope to have a 10-hour-a-week support staff type of person who can walk dogs, clean the kennels, and the working facilities that I plan to build. This, like I said, could be the same person as a technician, but wouldn't necessarily have to be if a high schooler wanted a part-time job or something like that. One of the things that will be of value to my workers is just the ability to bring their kids to work. I think that's an important piece of this puzzle. I was raised in the vet truck with my mom going on calls, and that's something that I really want to have be a part of this. So I hope to have an area where kids can play and they can spend time at the clinic if their parents so choose to bring them. Additionally, I will provide paid vacations for my technician and secretary and my associate veterinarian, and I will work out the times that one of us is gone so that we always have one person there to care for our client. For my SWOT analysis, some of my biggest strengths are my ability and interest in using technology as a way to save time and money. With the new veterinary feed directive, having using the internet and the online forms will be a lot easier, but I think that it's something that some veterinarians are shying away from, especially those out in the rural area, and so it's just important that I can do that because it'll save time and it will save money as well. Additionally, I hope to potentially use Skype. I haven't exactly decided how that's going to work yet, but just for initial diagnostics with animals, if they live 40 miles away, instead of charging the clients a trip for something that I didn't really need to be there for, I could do a quick consultation over Skype and charge them accordingly, but it would still be less than me making a trip out there. My entrepreneurship minor is clearly a big strength that I have too. A lot of veterinarians don't have any business background, and so this will just help me be able to manage my business more effectively. Also, because of the money that I've invested in cattle and a college savings fund and scholarships, I will be able to graduate veterinary school with no debt, which is a huge advantage, especially being a veterinarian, because you can't find many that are able to do that. Some of my weaknesses are I will be a young veterinarian and I won't be from the area, so I will have a big reputation to build, but I plan to spend the next 4 years doing that. Also, it will be difficult to attract new veterinarians in the future if I decide that I want to either add an additional associate or sell the business. Some opportunities. Bartlett is located on US Highway 281, which is fairly well maintained. Few veterinarians are wishing to return to the rural areas, and as many older veterinarians retire, this opens up a big window of opportunity for people like me who are willing to work long hours and late nights. Also, production is moving towards requiring more product than strictly service, and so my rebate program will offer me a big opportunity in that area. Some of the threats are animal activists who make livestock production difficult. This is an ongoing threat, but my livelihood is obviously dependent on the livestock industry, and so it's important that they are successful. Also, just other economic threats to the livestock industry. It's such a volatile market, as we've seen in the last few years, and hard years can make it more difficult for them to be able to afford veterinary services. Also, just an overall diminishing rural population will take away from my small animal clients and my equine clients, and also just being so far away from town will make just daily operations difficult as far as getting necessary supplies and things like that. On the financial side of things, I plan to take out a $100,000 loan in the first year to build a clinic in a working facility. I will start by paying myself a $40,000 salary per year, and I plan for that to be $55,000 by year 5. The cost of living in Bartlett, Nebraska is not a lot compared to how it is even in Lincoln or Omaha, and so I think that's a reasonable salary, especially for a starting veterinarian. My secretary and technician, I hope to hire in year 2 and pay them about $12 per hour. By year 5, my goal is to be able to sell $170,000 in products and service sales and have $60,000 in costs. And so that will leave $55,000 to be able to pay 2 veterinarians, which is the ultimate goal. So my funds required is going to be $135,000. The $100,000 will come from the loan, and then I will invest $35,000 of my own money from savings and from my cattle herd. Also, about 80% of those startup funds will be used in the first year of operations, and that'll be just to buy necessary equipment and supplies and things like that a lot of the veterinary supplies don't depreciate as quickly, and so this will be an investment that'll last for a number of years, and so it won't be as much of a cost for depreciation in the years to come after that. But after the first year, the costs they will be all able to be covered by the income that I have projected. As an exit strategy, in tough years, I understand that I won't be able to charge producers as much as I do always, and so I'll have to adjust my prices accordingly. So in the event of an agricultural financial crisis, I will obviously do everything that I can to ensure that my producers are successful, and so if that requires reducing costs, I'll do that, and I may also have to reduce the hours of my support staff. And in the event that I have to leave the business, I will sell all my assets and equipment at the appraised value, but I will ensure that the person that I sell to is someone who's heavily invested in the livestock industry. Some key individuals: I haven't decided on my accountant yet. I have met with a banker, David Shohan from Great Plains State Bank in O'Neill, an insurance agent, Susan Wakefield, who's also in O'Neill, and then an attorney, Alyssa Dorr, who is newly graduated and has a lot of the same views and values as I do. My competitive advantage is I'm personally invested in the livestock industry. I've owned cattle since I was 7 years old, and I currently own 50 market steers who I plan to keep turning that inventory over until I eventually buy my own cow-calf herd. I will be active in cattlemen's groups, as I already am. I'm fairly active in Nebraska Cattlemen and Nebraska Cattlewomen. And I will build my passion for being a liaison between producers and legislators, as I think that's an important part of a veterinarian's role. Additionally, my networking will just be something that definitely gives me an advantage in this area. I've attended veterinary meetings since I was young. I can remember being about probably 8 years old, sitting around a round table discussing something with veterinarians, and that was just always something that I really enjoyed. Also, I'm the current national beef advocate, and so through this time I'm learning a lot about what producers need and how to best relate to legislators, as they're the ones who will make the decisions. So obviously I can't start my practice until I am a veterinarian. So for the next 4 years, to plan for success, I will obviously complete veterinary school. I will take leadership in my class and in the vet school community, just to build those relationships between my colleagues, no matter how far apart they'll be once we graduate. I will continue to build relationships in the Bartlett area, and I'll find a potential business partner for my veterinary practice, just because I think that right now I'm thinking that that'll be the best way to get started, especially in the area, but we'll see for sure. And then I will build my cow herd and to help fund the startup of my business, but my cow herd will also be an integral part of mine and my family's income, and so that will require me to not have to take out such a big salary from my veterinary practice. And then finally, I will increase my veterinary skill set by working with multiple veterinarians, as I've done throughout the years, but I will just continue to build those skills. So thank you very much for watching. If there's any questions or concerns that you have, please let me know. And I appreciate being part of this organization that is so encouraging and helps us all just achieve our goals. So thanks again.